Imagine Forrest Gump is like, "You're a comedy writer, right? This is pretty funny." And then he takes out a teddy bear and he just like says "fuck" a whole bunch, and then they make eye contact, and then
imagining Tom motherfucking Hanks.
40 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
I think that's our longest silence before an open.
Yeah. And I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So that was technically, I think by definition, it was a movie.
Yeah, you're really dogging on this one, huh?
Well, it's not quite as lucky.
You seemed to like it when we watched it.
Oh, I wasn't the one who liked it. Will was the one who liked it.
Was it just Will?
Yeah.
We calling him out? Put this kid on blast.
Put him on blast. He's gonna whenever I have a bad opinion about one of these movies, and you're like, didn't you say that like they should have added a scene where it was just like, and I'll be like, no, that was Will.
Can I just say I love that people just say bad opinions, like sincerely will say the phrase bad opinions. Like, no,
right.
That's not. That
right.
doesn't mean anything.
Right. There's no such thing as a bad opinion. They're all just opinions.
It's an opinion.
It's maybe unpopular opinion.
Sure.
You have reasons behind your opinion.
But like when people say bad opinions, it's like, oh, geez.
Well, there is a couple opinions that are like genuinely bad.
Like what?
I don't know. Like if you're of the opinion that like, slavery should still exist. That's a bad opinion.
Well, is it?
All right, Duncan. We're recording. You know that, right?
I know. I'm just saying.
I see your point.
I'm the one editing.
You're going to edit it so that I say, like, black people should never have existed in the first place.
I don't even need to now.
God damn it. You're right.
You really went for it there.
You are the one editing.
Yeah. So we watched, what was it even called? Can of Worms.
Can of Worms. Can of Worms.
Probably the worst title yet.
Yeah, it's probably the, it's the worst of the two movies with worm in the title.
What was the other one with worm in the title?
How to Eat Fry Worms. I know it wasn't a decom.
Oh, I thought you meant decom.
Those are the only two movies that have worm in the title.
I'm trying to think of another one. I think you might just be right about that.
Oh no, a bold and brash statement from Evan being right. Imagine that.
Yeah, about movies?
Yeah, about movies. Furthermore, about movies?
All right, you want me to read you the synopsis?
Yeah, let's get going on it.
Aliens respond to a dissatisfied teen's plea to escape from planet Earth, but not all of them are friendly. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's all that happens in the movie.
Yeah, the fact that you can describe the movie with that. I mean, there's some plot points before and after, but they really summarize that movie.
Yeah, it's kind of a boring film.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as bad as we were thinking, honestly.
No, yeah.
But I would not recommend it.
Yeah, if you're listening through and you're like trying to decide, or maybe you're watching along, maybe we should re-upload the last episode and at the end be like, you don't gotta watch this one. Don't watch it.
Oh my god. Just add like a warning at the end.
Hey, before you go, this is Evan from the future, I guess. Don't watch it. Just don't watch it.
Alright. So, wow, what a movie. Why is it even called Can of Worms?
Because he opened a can of worms.
But he didn't.
He really didn't, because...
He just wished for something and he got it, but it wasn't exactly what he was expecting.
Right. It wasn't like he had like a physical can.
No, I mean like
of worms.
Like, is that even what the saying "can of worms" means? It doesn't mean be careful what you wish for.
Right. Can of worms means that like once you start doing one thing, you're gonna have to start doing other things along with it.
Right, which didn't happen in the movie.
Right. Like once you open a Facebook, that's a whole can of worms, right?
Exactly. Once you request aliens to come to your planet to pick you up because you don't think you're human, you opened a whole can of worms.
That's a whole can of worms.
I know. You just fucked up a little bit.
Right. And maybe, I'm sure somebody's going to be like, hey, listen, language could be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure.
But
Call the movie something else, though.
call it anything else because there's no worms in the film.
Exactly.
If they just made one of the aliens an actual worm,
Yeah.
you could be like, this makes sense. Instead of making the bad guy a frog businessman,
Right.
maybe make him a
Yeah.
worm.
Yeah, because there wasn't a single worm in the movie, which also kind of leads us into our bet on it.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't a worm, but there was the weird booger creature, I guess.
Yeah, the
It was more of
bomb.
a slime. The bomb. That's right.
B-O-M, bomb.
Bomb.
He is a lawyer, which is sort of the
Of
social
course he's a
commentary of this
lawyer.
movie.
Oh, you're so right. That the lawyer's like a slime bag,
Yeah. God.
There's every single alien in this movie. It's so funny because every single alien in this movie is like
Bottom of the barrel. Just the like laziest idea for an alien.
yeah. And one of the aliens that appears later in the movie, later in this wonderful flick, is literally just a Disney exec.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're gonna have you, in all these different shows, and like we're gonna have all these merchandising opportunities. And it's as if
I thought you meant the Thode, who was just a man, just a human businessman.
as if like he's.
I thought you meant physically, literally just a Disney
Right.
executive, which
Right.
is true.
Right, like he's like, listen, if you want to get a job done right, you gotta do it yourself.
Yeah. Like
cast me in this
that one
movie.
guy
I'm
from The Office, who was just like one of the writers,
Yeah,
and they put him in an episode, and then he was like a recurring character.
yeah. I thought you were talking about Creed, whose name in The Office is the same as his name in real life.
No, it's the one that nobody likes.
Right.
He was just a writer and not an actor. I think it's
Yeah.
Toby.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay.
Getting topical
Yes.
here. You hear the...
That's right.
Hey, anybody hear
Oh,
about how
oh.
The Office isn't going to be on Netflix anymore?
Oh, that's crazy, man. What? They're just taking it off of Netflix?
That's crazy.
Welcome to the news portion. The
News update.
internet streaming news update.
Disney Now. Still no word about the only thing in this realm we care about.
Yep.
Check back
no
next
new
week.
news on that. Yep.
And back to the movie. So the movie starts with a kid, our main character, Mike Pillsbury,
Oh man, I love that name.
and he's futzing with a satellite dish in a big rainstorm. And he's calling out to all the aliens to come pick him up because he's not human.
Right. And then all of a sudden, from the sky comes a huge beam of lightning that takes out the satellite, which has started to shoot a laser beam up into space. And then it just shows a bunch of text that says 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah. We get a little bit of a flash forward intro here.
Right.
Because the movie's not interesting.
Yeah, sort of like the beginning of a YouTube video where the person editing puts the funniest part of the video at the beginning of it so that your, tiny boy brain doesn't lose interest.
We should do that with the podcast.
Just this one episode.
Like 40 minutes earlier. Use that clip when you're editing.
Is that a note for you?
Yeah. Well, no, I
yeah,
hired
cool.
a guy.
Oh, right. Yeah. You gotta, is this another Fiverr thing? Or?
No. This is just a guy.
Ah, fair enough, yeah. You got a name so we can yell at him?
No. No, he's nameless.
Okay.
He
Fair
requested to,
Oh shit. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I'll have to
sorry.
cut this out.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, not me. I'm can't even keep it together for like one little bit.
One singular, self-contained bit and joke that will definitely never come back. We're never gonna make a joke about a separate editor ever again.
Okay, so
definitely.
he's so now in the past he's in a treehouse telling a story to his friend's little brother about aliens.
Oh man.
Do you remember the story?
I don't remember all of it, but the essence of it is like there's this huge space war going on, and there's this guy that like kills this other alien, and the alien is like, "Oh, I'm dead and I'm a father."
Well,
and
no, it's a genocide.
Right.
It's not one alien. It's a genocide of a whole peoples called the Hansels.
Right.
And they send their little baby boy in a spaceship out to Earth. It's just the plot of Superman.
Right, exactly. And everybody in universe acts as if Mike has come up with this most amazing story that like they've never heard before.
Right.
But it's just Superman.
He just stole it.
It's
plagiarism. Plain and simple.
Plain, more like spaceship and simple, because he comes to Earth on a spaceship.
Very funny one there. Okay, that's good.
Thank you. And Mike starts saying things like, and like he's talking about the kids like thinking that he's never gonna belong and that he doesn't belong on Earth. Like he can still tell even though he's now on Earth and stuff like that. And he never knew his parents that much, but he like knew. But it's like zooming in on his face as if to say that Mike is this child.
Right, Mike clearly wrote the story because he doesn't feel like he fits in.
Exactly. So then it's the next day, and there's a football game going on. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the players in the football game.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
And he's
this
bad
crazy
he's
nerd.
bad at football.
Yeah, but he's bad at football. So he gets an interception during the game just by accident. Like sort of like falls directly into his arms. And he's like, oh, it's my chance. And so he starts running towards the end zone. And then he gets turned around and starts going the wrong way. And everybody in the crowd is just like, you suck, Mike. We hate you, Mike.
Yeah,
You're
but
the
he
worst,
doesn't
Mike.
stop. He just keeps going in the wrong direction.
Right. And then he gets hit hard. And he hits the ground super, super hard. And then he sees an alien in space.
Yeah, and he's like, don't take my brain. Don't take my brain. And then obviously he's not being taken to space. He's just having an episode on the ground, and his like bully is standing over him, and he's like laughing at him.
Right. And so at this point in the movie, I was really confused because I thought the story was about aliens coming to Earth. And so I was super confused when there's like this whole plot point of like this kid that belongs on another planet. And so I was like, is that what this movie? I didn't realize that this movie was about. But don't worry, it's not about that.
Well, it is.
Well, it's not about him being from outer space.
No, it is. Are you? No, I'm being serious. This isn't a joke.
No.
He literally finds, spoilers, I'm just going to jump right ahead because I don't give a shit about anything else that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
He finds the last Hansel in the space zoo that the Thode steals the children to go to.
I hear you.
He has a telepathic connection, and that Hansel clearly recognizes him.
No, but they. Oh my god. But then, like, oh my god. I disagree.
Okay.
Because I think that. Okay, we're gonna get into some film theory here.
Okay.
Some game theory, film theory.
Welcome to film theory.
There's no way that the human parents could get rid of all traces of him being a Hansel.
Right, but I don't think they did.
You think the Hansels have the ability to
drop? No, because he's adopted. I think he was like found by someone, given to an orphanage, and then actually like, regularly adopted.
Okay, I'll give you the real.
It's not like Superman where they find the spaceship, someone else does the hard work.
Right. I'll give you the real, true, full reason that I think that that's not a thing that happens in the movie. because the movie ends, and since it's a children's movie, it has to explain everything very blatantly for me and all of the children.
Okay.
And it never says for sure or for not if this kid is really from that planet. Secondarily, he never sees his, presumably, in theory, he never sees his parent again, right? If that
it might not be it might not be a parent, but it's a member of his race who can communicate with him telepathically, because he's also a
I guess
Hansel.
that's true.
Also, why would Hansels be real? How would he make this up? And it just so happens that this exact story is literally real.
Well, I don't know. It's somebody from, like, when he got hit in the head, you know, he had that space episode, so maybe he's just, like, connected to space.
But that space episode wasn't real. Nothing
No.
Listen. Nothing in that episode comes back, right?
Right.
It's all made up in his head. It's just fear.
Right.
But the Hansel stuff is literally real. How would he know that if he wasn't a Hansel?
Well, you know, it's entirely possible because the dog later in the movie, again, spoilers, sorry again.
The puppyian
in the movie is like,
Barnabas
you have
the
a huge
puppyian.
brain. You have a huge brain. Your brain is huge. You have a massive brain.
Right, which is why he remembers being a baby.
Well, it would also explain him being able to receive things from outer space, like just random information from outer space.
No, that's not how brains work, Evan.
Apparently that's how Hansel brains work.
No, they have to transmit the data. It's not just
Well, yeah, but we're
grabbed.
transmitting data out into space.
Well, then you're just
you know
saying
what I mean?
he's a Hansel. If he grabbed the data from space through his telekinesis powers.
No, you're
he's just a
saying that brains don't work that way. I'm saying that yes, they do, as proven by Hansel brains, and if Hansel can do it, other brains can do it too.
No. You're literally proving that he is a Hansel because he has this power.
No.
No
I'm not.
other alien is shown to have this.
How is that proven? There's almost infinite amounts of aliens.
I'm not saying it's
right?
proven. I'm saying no other alien is shown to have this.
No other alien on screen is shown to have that.
In the film theory, in the language of this film, someone having that ability should
means that
indicate that it's a Hansel.
Oh my god. Yeah, but here's the thing. I refuse to believe that this kid like asks his parents, "Am I adopted?" and his parents say no. It's a very like low beat story. Like it's a very sad story if he's like asking his parents like, "Am I adopted? You guys would tell me if I'm adopted." And they're like, "We wouldn't tell you." But then his sister's like, "Yeah, you were." Right? Like,
but it's a younger sister.
Right.
So she wouldn't know.
Well, yeah. Right. Unless the parents told them, obviously. But she just relayed the exact story that he said. I just think it's weird. I just think it's a bad... Okay, here's what I'll say. I think it's a bad movie. I just think it's a bad movie.
It is. No, it is a bad movie, but I'm pretty sure he is a Hansel. That's the whole thing.
And here's the thing as well. I see your points, and I agree with your points. And I, during the movie, was thinking the exact same thing.
Okay.
I'm more just being like... This movie didn't communicate its points well.
But we both thought that.
I guess that's fair.
How did it communicate its points poorly if we both came to the same conclusion?
It was just very illogical top to bottom.
Well, yeah, it's not well made, but it made sense. Like we both understood it.
But like the story is set up as a story of him escaping planet Earth. And then when he tries to escape planet Earth, he doesn't get what he wants, so he goes back home.
Well,
right?
Yeah.
But then there's a whole plot point of like he's starting to like where he's at, and so I guess it's just like what's the lesson, you know?
The lesson is you shouldn't isolate yourself. You should like try to be more outgoing cuz there are good people out there. It's not all awful.
Right, but then his parents are painted in this bad light for lying to him, and then they're the ones who are telling him, "Get back up on your horse and get out there."
Right. Well, they're not painted in a bad light for lying to him. They aren't really painted in a bad light at all.
Well, they are if you're a kid and you're really able to pay attention, and then you're like, hey, his parents lied to him about him being adopted, and it's built for you to empathize because there's a lot of POV shots from the point of view of Mike. There's a lot of POV shots of him looking at his parents, and his parents are saying things that he doesn't like and he thinks are bad. And that, I believe, is painting his parents relative to Mike in a bad light. And
I guess, but that's sort of how everybody's portrayed in the movie. He's kind of portrayed as being antisocial.
yeah, that's fair.
You know, he's very antisocial. He really only has one friend. Mostly talks to small children. The second anything goes wrong, he runs away and tries to leave the Earth.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if this movie was real, he wouldn't be fiddling with the parents' satellite. He'd be fiddling with their gun. You know, like, it's that kind of character.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like, for me, it's sort of weird because the whole plot point of him like being from another planet wasn't like explored in any meaningful way in his character.
No, it really wasn't.
As in, like, he didn't do anything weird necessarily, other than he felt like he didn't belong, but that's just because... Dude, is this just, like, a movie about being adopted?
No, it's a movie about, like, being more social, even if you don't really want to.
But, I mean, when a kid,
But it's such a minor thing that they don't expand on, so it can't really be about that.
Right, exactly. It tries to do a lot.
Yeah, and it doesn't do a whole lot well.
Yeah.
It's kind of messy.
I think that's my hang-up on it.
Yeah, but they don't
explained
try
its... Yeah.
on that. They try on the, like, go talk to girls.
Yeah.
They try on that lesson a lot, but they don't give you anything with the whole he's a Hansel angle of the film.
Right. And here, like, I think it just sort of, like, muddied up the whole plot a bit, because they didn't really explain the rules of their sci-fi universe of, like, what things can come to Earth until, like...
They kind of did.
I know, it kind of did, but it didn't explain it...
They explained the Stargates and how Earth was a protected planet.
Well, they did that after.
Primitive.
They did that after.
Well, yeah, but that's still explaining it.
Well, yeah, but they did it in, like, the last second of the movie. It's still explaining it, but it doesn't set up the rules in a way that you can...
Yeah, I guess. Well, no,
What do you mean, no?
I forget what I said no to.
You're saying no to me saying that they didn't set up the rules until the last minute of the movie.
Yeah. Because Barnabas shows up and says all of that as the first alien he encounters. He says a whole bunch of that stuff right away.
I guess that's fair.
Like, literally the first time stuff starts getting weird, he talks about, like, you're going to be visited by all these aliens. Not all of them are trustworthy because of this, this, and this. Like, he actually does explain it.
You know what's kind of funny? This episode so far arguably is the only episode that you actually do need to watch the movie for.
We're just actually discussing it. Say a funny joke. His parents are the best depiction of parents in a Disney Channel original movie so far. Hey, no analysis. I said tell me a joke.
Oh God,
you're just talking about, like, what the movie did well.
The guy, the puppets were
Yes.
well made except for the teeth.
We're losing people.
Oh no, they're clicking away. They're skipping to the dollop and stuff like that.
I know.
Go ahead.
His dad goes on the computer, and it's just a picture of a pig, and he's like, "Oh, my damn son messing with my computer again," and then he's like, "Sorry, Dad, I took the RAM out of it." It's the RAM-less computer pig screenshot that shows up when you run out of computer RAM.
Yeah, Bill Gates was like, we need something to show up when you run out of RAM on your computer. How about a pig? And then the kid makes no attempt to put any RAM back in the computer. He's just like, I just needed it. And then the dad sits back at his computer and it's still a pig.
So the whole pig thing comes back up.
Does it?
So they're in computer class.
Oh yeah.
And the bully hacks the computer and sends him a spooky message saying, "I'm going to steal your brain," in this, like, Hot Topic official document-esque font.
No, you say that as a joke? No, you do say that as a joke.
I say that as a joke knowing full well it's the truth.
It's the truth.
is that they use that like bleeding font in their
they
official company documents, right?
Yeah, they do. They use that in their. They use that and like fonts called "You're Loved" and like they have email signatures that are like store 443 and then it lists all the people's names and
then
like
it's
their
got like a
own
gif
fonts.
of Sephiroth walking away.
You say that as a joke, but
No, that can't be real. They aren't like
there
forum signatures, are they?
there are exactly like forum signatures. One time there was a quote in the bottom that was from the Addams Family that was like, "What is normal for a spider is calamity for a fly,"
Normal
and
is
stuff like
just
that.
a setting on a washing machine.
Yeah, stuff exactly like that.
Man.
One time I got an email that was like, instead of like the usual store this and the numbers, and then the names, it was a picture of BTS and then people's names photoshopped on top of the different band members of BTS. Boy, howdy, there was a lot.
Which member were you?
Oh, it wasn't me. It was a different store.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
I was really hoping that we could like map you onto one of the BTS boys.
Well, can you imagine if I could pull out of my ass a random name from BTS and be like, "Oh, I know a BTS member." I don't know any BTS members. The only thing I know about BTS is that there's boys,
They're the boys.
and that's it. They're the boys. Stan accounts exist about them. I know that.
Is Stan a member? All right, I'm looking at a picture. We got.
Which one is Stan?
He's not in it.
Dang.
So if I had to pick one for you to be,
Oh, come on.
I'm gonna say Jimin. You're
think
Jimin
that
now.
I think that you are the one that is the the dog with the yellow hoodie, or maybe the heart. Yeah, I think you're definitely the dog with the yellow hoodie.
What are you looking at?
Oh, their official merch line, BT21.
Man, we're really doing everything we can to not talk about this movie.
We really
To the
are.
point of actually talking about it.
Like actually discussing it.
Yeah. So the we gotta just like,
Cut through it.
you know what? Honestly though, just say fuck it. Let's just talk about what we want to talk about. Don't watch this movie. I don't.
Can we
even
give it a
wanna
rating now?
explain it. Yeah, do it. Whatever. Sure.
3 out of 10. Maybe.
3 out of 10?
Yeah.
Like same as You Lucky Dog. I'm gonna give it a 4. It
Yeah.
definitely was more interesting than You Lucky Dog.
Definitely more interesting, but I thought it was just as paced as You Lucky Dog.
I disagree. There was more new stuff happening at a higher frequency. You Lucky
That's
Dog
true.
was very one note. This,
Yeah.
you get like new aliens coming through.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It sort of changes its whole theme, I guess, right at the 30-minute mark. Like the aliens aren't even introduced until the 30-minute mark. So really, I guess that's a fair point. I'm still gonna stick to the 3 out of 10.
Yeah, it's
yeah, I
paced way better than You Lucky Dog.
Yeah, I think I agree. Now that I'm thinking about it, I totally agree.
But, so we didn't even mention this. His friend Nick is played by the same actor that plays Gilbert in Under Wraps. Which is just crazy.
It's so funny because he's not great.
No, he's not a great actor.
He's not great, and they chose him for 2.
And this is definitely like mid-puberty for this kid.
Yeah.
So his voice is much deeper. It's really weird.
There's also a part in the movie where there's like a slime monster that like excretes all over Mike's room.
Yeah,
And
the
then
lawyer.
the lawyer. And then Nick comes in and Nick's like, "Oh, dude, what's all this in your room?" And then Mike says, there's an alien and he came in and did this. And then Nick's like, "Oh, you threw up in your room and you had to come up with a reason."
Yeah, he says you puked up your room.
That's right, puked up your room.
Which is not what that really means. Like, puking up your room implies you ate your whole room.
And then Mike says, "No, it's exploit." What did he say? It's exploit.
XSplit, yeah, for live streaming.
Cut. Stop. He said it's What did he say? He said a word that sounded like it could also mean cum.
Yeah, emission. They're emissions.
Emission. They're emissions. That's right.
Yeah.
No. It's emissions.
It's emissions. Another thing about Mike, he acts like Mark Wahlberg in that one M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh man, that's a deep cut. I don't think I know what you're talking about. Mark.
He's got a very Mark Wahlberg talking cadence.
Yeah, he does. He really does. He looks like a Ryan Reynolds, the actor, like a young Ryan Reynolds with a more taller face. No, you know what he looks like?
What does he look like?
Hold on, I have a really good funny joke, and it's gonna work really well. Hold on. It didn't work.
Yeah, very good.
I was gonna say he looked like Mark, and then change the last name to the name of the aliens.
He looks like a doughboy, fucking Pillsbury doughboy over here, Mike Pillsbury.
Mike Pillsbury, more like Mike Blue Pillsbury.
Oh man, could you imagine the like red Pillsbury doughboy?
It's like a Chad doughboy.
He sells you like MRA muffins.
And weed brownies.
He totally does sell weed brownies. Like in a tube.
Oh my god, can you imagine tubed weed brownies?
He tickles his tummy and he says, "Listen to Louder with Crowder." Oh.
Sargon of Akkad actually has some good points. Boom, boom, boom. It's him patting his belly.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
What a great movie.
What a great movie. I also want to point out that the main evil villain is a Thode.
Yeah, a Thode.
Which is the worst thing to name anything.
It's Toad with an H because he's a human toad. Mm-hmm. So they put the H from human in the word toad.
You're so right. But they never like explain that he's a toad creature before they say the name.
Right,
Thode,
he grabs
like
a child.
14 or 15 times. Yes, he does.
With like a tendril, which we later find out is his big long tongue.
It looks like it's not even. The tendril isn't like it isn't like a tentacle. It's more like a sharp point too.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. It like maintains. It looks like it's a rod more than it is a tongue.
Yeah. He's Scorpion get over here's.
Yes.
Like a 6-year-old child.
That, I kid you not, was exactly where I was going. Like Mortal Kombat pulls this child into like a portal.
Yeah, a Stargate, as it's called.
God. Yeah, Stargate.
Can we talk about how this movie ends?
Yes.
Let's just skip all of the bad parts and just talk about how it literally ends with them calling the police.
Yeah.
They call the space police on the Thode, and he arrests the Thode.
And it's sort of, but it's also kind of really funny too because the puppin, his name's Puppian. That's right, Puppian. Barnabas the Puppian.
Barnabas is he's like a shaggy looking dog, like some sort of mutt dog, who has a necklace with claymation lips on it.
Yeah, just like a fleshlight on a necklace.
It's like, do you remember that old commercial that fucking Billy Mays was in for Mighty Putty? It's 2 sticks of Mighty Putty that open and close as the voice actor talks over the footage of the dog. There's also LEDs all around it to tell you that it's technology.
Right, to show you the volume as well.
Yeah, you can turn the dog's voice up and down.
Can you imagine your dog's like, hungry, food? And you just turn off the dog's
now Mike, I'm
like,
feeling
stop.
a bit famished, and why am I getting so much quieter?
You see the mouth like moving, like shouting, like
you can hear the like motor behind the mouth moving, but none of the words.
That was the probably worst audio experience.
No, that's pretty good.
God.
So there's a romance in this movie.
Oh, there is. There totally is.
The best romance in one of these movies yet, because it is over before the 30-minute mark. They go through all of the steps of a decom romance in less than 30 minutes.
Leading up to even a kiss on the cheek.
Exactly.
Which is like, that's home run for a decom romance.
That's third base. Actually, no, third base is getting mad at each other.
Yeah, what's the cycle for a decom movie? First base is looking at each other for the first time and having the camera zoom in.
No, first base is like asking each other to hang out.
Right. Second base is...
kiss on the cheek.
It's kiss on the cheek.
Or a
third
failed
base
kiss.
Yeah, and then third base is getting mad at each other.
Yeah.
And then home run is getting back together at the end of the movie.
Home run is FaceTiming your new boyfriend to a concert he cannot attend legally.
Happens in every single one.
Yeah, it's weird. Weird ending.
Yeah, at the end there's another concert, which is weird, where Barnabas is singing, and
the kid who plays Nick just third wheels again really hard.
Yeah. And then the police officer is there, and so is the Thode. But like the Thode is in police, he's in like prisoner outfit.
Yeah, and they're all
sort of
like
thing.
dancing to La Vida Loca, like the end of Shrek 2.
Mm-hmm. And Thode isn't really having it until like at the end of the shot when he starts sort of nodding his head because he's like getting into the beat.
Yeah, he starts tapping his foot, and the cop's like, "No, stop."
Yeah, and then Mike's parents are all are there, but they're like sort of confused, but they're still having fun. They're like, "Oh, there's all these aliens everywhere, but I guess our kid's really smart after all."
Hey, just for a context here, none of that really happened.
Yeah, none of it.
We're trying here. Why don't we do something new?
Okay.
Let's entirely rewrite this movie based on just the title, because nothing in this movie is salvageable.
Okay, I agree. So somebody's just come to the writer's room and they've set down a script that is just a title page, and it says
Can of worms.
Can of worms! Exclamation mark. And you open up the first page of the script and there's nothing. So you're like, all right, let's write the script. Go ahead.
Here's my pitch. He gets a literal can of worms.
Okay.
And each worm like does a different thing.
Like
one of them makes him jump really high.
Mm-hmm. And I entirely agree. And I think that a way that you could do that really well is he could get it from some sort of like special figure where he's like, man, I wish that this could happen. You know, like, oh, I
like
wish that I could do
Goosebumps
this. Book. Right. And then, but he gets the can of worms and he...
Okay. You have him like request it from space. He's like, please, I want to change my life. I don't want to be me anymore, because he's all alone and lonely. And then Barnabas shows up and gives him the can of worms.
Yes, Barnabas can still act as the Gandalf figure, the mentor.
Yeah.
But in less of a, like, he shows up and he's like, here's a lesson, sort of thing. You can still have aliens coming down to Earth. Please don't. But you can still have them coming down to Earth because he's communicating to space.
Eat one of the worms and he turns into an alien.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Because here's what Barnabas says. He gives him the can of worms, but he says, okay, here's your can of worms.
No. Do a British accent.
Righto, chap.
Pretty good.
I shall give you the canned worm, but
the tin of worms.
The tin of worms. The aluminium tin of worms. But I require that you
worms.
I require that you eat all of them.
In front of me. For my pleasure.
Before Friday evening this coming week, or else bad things will happen. It will reverse all the effects. And then some of the worms have bad effects, and he must realize that he can't have all good things without having that balance.
You take the good, you take the bad.
Mm-hmm. You open up the can of worms. It's you could even call this movie Box of Chocolates.
You could call it Nightcrawler, because that's what the movie Nightcrawler is about. It's about a guy who eats a bunch of worms from space. Jake Gyllenhaal is a reporter, and he finds a can of worms and he eats them, and they turn him like blue and big and stuff. It's really cool.
I'm saying that you capitalize on the fact that Forrest Gump exists, and you call the movie Box of Chocolates, okay? And then you get Hank. What's his name?
Mike.
Tom Hanks.
Tom
I was
Hanks.
about to call. You get him to be in the movie anywhere, and then you advertise the heck out of the movie using Tom Hanks.
Have you read the script for Forrest Gump 2?
Oh my God! I was not expecting a number after that word.
Yeah,
Duncan.
no, they never made it because it sucked. I think he goes to 9/11 while it's happening.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah.
No, you just can't do that.
No, yeah, that's why they didn't do it.
Yeah, that is the only reason. They were like, man, we got a really good idea for it. It's all about 9/11. He was almost going to be on the flight.
He's sitting there in the terminal, and he misses the flight with Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg. And he has a conversation with the both of them. And he gives Seth MacFarlane inspiration for Family Guy episodes. And he tells Mark Wahlberg, you should start a burger chain with your brother.
And Mark Wahlberg's like, no, instead I'm going to be in all the Fast and the Furious movies. And then he does that.
Is he even in any of those movies?
No, he's in the Transformers, isn't he? He's in
one of the Transformers movies.
Is he really only in one? I thought he was the Transformers actor.
No, that's Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, you're so right. Well, I thought he was the... Oh,
maybe in the newer ones.
I thought Shia LaBeouf was the Bumblebee actor.
He was in Ted. Dude,
Shia LaBeouf or Bumblebee?
He gives Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg in the terminal for the 9/11 flight the idea to make Ted.
And it's just like, can you imagine? So Forrest Gump 2 comes out before Ted.
Yeah.
And so he gives him the idea, and the audience is like, "What? What's that?" And then it's proverbial.
Oh my God! You do stuff in Forrest Gump 2 that sets up other movies.
But
the Forrest Gump cinematic universe.
Oh my God! Every historical documentary is included in the Forrest Gump extended universe.
Imagine Forrest Gump is like, "You're a comedy writer, right? This is pretty funny." And then he takes out a teddy bear and he just says "fuck" a whole bunch, and then they make eye contact, and then.
Imagining Tom motherfucking Hanks
pretending to be Ted.
And sticking his hand inside of a bear and just going, I had sex with your mom.
He's doing the Peter Griffin voice. It's like Tom Hanks playing Forrest Gump, playing Peter Griffin as Ted.
We've got this is the best movie, Duncan.
Oh man.
That's what. There's just a cutaway shot in Can of Worms that just goes. It cuts away, and it goes. Forrest Gump 2, and it instead of 3 weeks earlier, it just says Forrest Gump 2.
That easily bumps this movie up to a 5.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, at one point.
Just the same movie that we watched, the shitty movie, but there's a Forrest Gump scene.
An unexplained, random mid-roll for Forrest Gump 2.
There's a mid-roll ad integrated into the film.
Can you imagine an ad in a movie for something that's real, okay, but it's part of the plot?
Okay, I was thinking about this. That's real, and it's from Forrest Gump. Because there's a restaurant called Bubba Gump's Shrimp.
Yeah.
Which is the only restaurant I can think of that's based on a movie.
It is sort of forging the path there. It's forging the path there, but what other movies could follow?
Good Burger.
Good Burger, absolutely Good Burger. The Wizards of Waverly Place sandwich shop to keep it on brand.
Dude, yes. Oh man, you could have a golf course from High School Musical 2.
Okay.
Even though that's a real golf course they filmed that at.
You just go to your local golf club and you're like, I got an idea for you guys. Rebrand to this golf course that already exists.
And they're like, bet on it?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine an alternate universe where "Bet on It" is a song about investing in Bitcoin?
Evan, you just wrote yourself an amazing YouTube parody song.
Crypto coin, crypto coin, crypto coin, crypto coin. Welcome to Crypto Coin, the part of the podcast where we talk about Bitcoin for a second.
Decryptocast.
Decryptcast. Decryptocast, a show where we take a string of letters and numbers and turn it into a word. This episode, exclamation mark, parentheses, I-O.
The only
bracket,
podcast
plus.
distributed by the blockchain. It's a ledger-based podcast.
There's one audio file and you trade it between everybody else.
We're uploading this only to a torrent website. You have to seed this to all your friends.
We're going to be talking about BTS and Bitcoin.
BTS stands for the Bitcoin Town Boys.
It's not BTTB.
No, but that...
Oh, I guess it's...
BTS stands for the Bangtan Boys, doesn't it?
Does it really? Oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Okay, so, hey, editor, do I have to do something to, like, call him into existence?
No. Just make a bad episode and it'll show up.
Okay, cool. So we got that covered. Just cut out the part where I, like, didn't know what BTS stand for, because I think I'm gonna get, like, added on Twitter about that, or you know, somewhere. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna save myself here, and I'm just gonna say Stan Luna.
Stan Luna.
Yeah. Okay, we're safe now. It's like a protection thing. It's like a
Oh,
spell.
right. Okay, so it's... Do you have to... Oh, okay, I see.
It's a power word.
Okay, so like Stan Luna. Is that different from Stan Lee?
You can't say that.
Why not?
Did you not see that when Stan Lee died? A whole bunch of like K-pop fans on Twitter were like, "Who cares about Stan Lee when you could Stan Luna?"
Oof.
Like as he died.
Ooh, no.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh no, that's epic.
Yeah.
I see now what Stan Luna means.
Do you think Forrest Gump would have stand Luna?
You know who Forrest Gump would have stand?
Who?
Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
He'd be like the sole proprietor of the first ever Usain Bolt stand on Twitter.
Dude, this is super weird. Everything that we're talking about is like something I talked about at lunch at work today.
Even the Bitcoin?
Not Bitcoin, but like Forrest
phew.
Gump and Usain Bolt.
That's weird, because we totally, at least somewhat, stumbled upon it. What? Naturally, I think.
Yeah, very naturally. This movie's...
Yeah.
Man, I'm liking this movie the more we talk about it, man.
This Forrest Gump 2. So you know how Frog Fractions 2, there's this game called Frog Fractions 2, and it was hidden within another game. There was some like people didn't know about it, but
Yeah.
like for the longest time, this this game was hidden inside of another game, basically.
Right, it took a few months of the game being released for people to find out that it was actually in there.
Can you imagine if like you record, like basically what I'm saying is Forrest Gump 2 is hidden within a can of worms.
Our version.
All we have to do...
Not the real one.
Yeah, not the real one. The version that we just jokingly came up with.
This movie is
All you
so
have to
bad,
do-
we can't come up with a better version of it. We just made a different movie.
Well, we
made a sequel to a different movie.
So we did... I want to be clear. We did come up with a better version of this movie.
We did.
But then we moved into better funny jokes.
Yes. We came up with a great plot to a Goosebumps book that you could easily just rip off and turn into a decom.
Well, that's what they did already. This was basically just a...
Yeah, this was like a bad Goosebumps book.
Yeah. It wouldn't be called a can of worms. It would be like Stargate at midnight.
Or like...
No, that's the... that's just an advertisement for a show called Stargate.
Yeah, that's a real show. But like you could call
Right.
it like My Summer Vacation to Space.
Yes.
Space Adopted.
yeah.
I don't know.
Space Adopted. I don't know.
That's a very R.L. Stine title. Like, first thing off the top of your head.
Quite literally exactly the first thing off the top of your head, including...
There's a Goosebumps book called, like, Why I Am Afraid of Bees. Like, that's the title of the book.
Can we name this episode? No, I don't want to.
Why I'm Afraid of Worms.
Why I'm Afraid of Can of Worms.
Oh, man. Is there anything actually in the movie you wanted to talk about?
I kind of jumped around at everything that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, except for the really weird, like, guy with dress shoes and socks. Like, it's an alien that has dress shoes and socks.
Right, he's the one on the poster. He's got big eye stalks.
He's the one that looked like a minion. Yeah. And he knocks Mike to the floor and sprays him with this weird pollen juice that makes him heavy.
Right, he has a spraying like mist attack that freezes all of time.
Well, it doesn't freeze time because Mike can still move. It just freezes everything.
It freezes what he wants it to freeze.
I don't know if that's the thing either. That's what I
wanted
wanted to discuss.
He froze Mike, but he didn't freeze his, like, head. It was just his body.
Well, he could still move his entire body. He could still move. He just was really heavy.
No.
It looked like. Because he fell to he got hit with the juice and he fell to the floor.
He did it twice.
He did it twice. And then the second time, he got hit with a different juice.
Yeah. The juice was loose on him.
He unleashed a bunch of juice on him.
Yeah. And then he sort of, like, tap danced on him.
He did. He hopped on top of him. And it was really disgusting because he's, like, talking and he's got these human set of teeth.
He's got a very creepy smile. Like a Joker smile.
And he's like, I'll let you be on I'll make you go into a TV show. It's a big weekly show. You'll love it.
You're making him sound more monstrous than he was. He was sort of just like, yeah, hey, you're going to be a big star, kid.
Right.
We're going to get you movie deals.
Can't do impressions.
You can't do this?
Just I can't do... You can't do this?
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's embarrassing.
Kid, you're going to be big. It's sort of like
big.
It's like a deeper Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, here.
Like, do a Jerry
What's
Seinfeld and make it deeper.
With children who don't want to join me in a TV show?
This
Get on my
is
boat.
a 1928 Ford in baby blue.
A baby blue buggy.
And I'm here today with Mike Pillsbury.
Baby blue baby
Hey,
buggy.
Mike, do you want to get some coffee?
Let's get in a car and go get some coffee.
Mike, I can't drive. I don't have arms.
Mike, hop in my van. My space van. I'll take you to the cross
Mike,
the universe.
I'll make you famous, kid.
You can have sex with an alien girl.
She's just ahead.
Which does happen in this movie.
Well, no. No. She offers.
She offers.
He turns her down because there is a love interest in this movie. Caitlin. We didn't say her name yet.
We totally didn't. Caitlin. She's on the cheer team and she's super popular, but she was very impressed by Mike's ability to do cool technology stuff.
Right, yeah. And she's impressed by his stories.
Mm-hmm. And so she basically like, there's a one point in the movie where the bully comes in and is like, Caitlin, you want to go get food? And she's like, no, I'm with Mike right now. I'm listening to his story.
Yeah. They're like...
And it's really funny. It's really funny as well because she's not impressed by his stories. She's impressed by his story.
Yeah, well, it's his story. He lived it.
Right. But he tells the exact same story to every single person. And she says the words, I've heard you tell really good stories. Yeah. And it's like...
I guess he has other ones.
It's like how when, like, Fall Out Boy goes to concert, nobody's like, oh, yeah, there are other songs. They're like, I want to hear I Know What You Did in the Dark. My song's What You Did in the Dark. I don't give a shit about any of your other songs. I only want to hear... So his story about where he comes from, or he thinks or some random thing that happens to be him comes from, is like Mike's My Song's Know What You Did in the Dark.
Okay, sure. I guess I get where you're coming from.
There's definitely
like he's a one-hit story wonder.
yeah. Like, I should have said Gautier, huh?
You should have said Gautier. Holy shit, you should have said Gautier. Yeah, because Fall Out Boy like has a bunch of songs that people
really like and that I know, like Champions,
Centuries.
Centuries. That's what I meant to say. Oh no, is there Champions and Centuries? I don't care.
I'm not a big fan of the disco thing.
Yeah, this isn't a podcast about that, but you know what I mean, right? Like,
right.
They have like one specific song that everybody wants to hear. Like that's it's Mike's.
Yeah.
God, the more we explain things about this movie, the better this movie seems. I cannot stress this enough, y'all. This is not a good movie. This is a garbage pail.
It's okay. It's kind of just
movie.
It's slow and it's boring. And when we talk about the major points of it, it condenses it into just the parts that we found interesting.
Yeah. I don't think we ever talked about the bet on it, but there were 2 fart jokes.
Yeah, 2
Maybe
farty
more.
jokes. Also, we were both wrong about what you were going to give this movie.
We were.
Even though you totally could have just cheated.
You want to know what's funny? I don't remember what I said it was going to be.
A 2.
Oh, 2 out of 10?
You said it was going to be a 2, and I said, no, you're going to say it's a 1.
Yeah. Well, it was better than a 2.
Yeah, sure. It was better than a 2.
You give it a 4.
It was better. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It was better than You Lucky Dog, for sure.
Yeah, I think they were equal in certain ways.
Well, yeah, but in general, I'd rather watch this again than You Lucky Dog.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah. Do you want to update your score from last episode? Because you said you wanted to do that.
Yeah, deeply and badly.
Does this make you want to do it even more? Like watching a really shitty
This
one
movie?
makes... Yeah.
Yeah. I want to give Xenon an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Respectable.
Yeah. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Go watch Xenon again.
Yeah, just go.
It's...
I think we said that last episode as well, where we were like, don't watch.
Yeah.
Just watch Xenon again.
Oh, man. It's a good film.
Go watch Xenon again.
Go watch Forrest Gump 2.
Go on. God damn
I'm
it.
stalling for time because my phone won't load the list, so I don't know what's coming next. Why don't you give it a shot?
Oh, no,
it loaded. I hit the reload button.
There we go. Oh, nuts.
Hold on.
I'll talk about BT21 again. All of their merch makes sense to not have all of the discounts on it. I would talk about Hot Topic. In case it wasn't clear, I worked at Hot Topic.
Oh, shit.
They had... What?
It's the 13th year.
No way.
Yes, dude. 13th
No way.
year coming up.
Really?
Yeah, that's the next one.
Shit. Isn't that the one about... It's just about puberty?
Well, let me read you the synopsis.
Let's go.
All right, I'm going to read the actor's name because... Wow. As a boy, Chez Starbuck approaches adolescence. He grows scales and fins, communicates with fish, and breathes underwater.
Son of Mr. Starbuck, the proprietor and CEO of Starbucks Coffee Company.
Yeah, you know, Chez.
Chez Starbuck. Can I has... God, I'm going to say
Can I
it.
Chez Starbuck?
Can I has Chez Starbucker?
Starbucker.
Starbucker.
You want to make some bet on it about this one? So, okay, I'm going to give you the gist. This is one that I saw a lot as a kid.
Okay.
Kid turns 13, and he starts turning into a mermaid.
Damn, not again.
Not again.
As in, not again, this exact same plot point, because the exact same plot point happens in Halloween Town. It sort of feels like decom writers have, like, a hat.
No, this is the opposite. In Halloween Town, when you
mean?
turn 13, you lose your witch powers.
Well, no, but that's like the... you see the point I'm making, right? It's 13. It's a coming
why.
of age moment. 13 reasons why
I'm a mermaid now.
A mermaid now.
Sorry, merman.
Merman. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of plot points about space. There's a lot of plot points about... There's some guns in there.
Yeah, it's what
There's
kids like. Space, guns, puberty, divorced parents.
But I can totally imagine, like in the writer's room, they just have like a hat with like strips of paper with like plot points like love interest.
They have a
is,
dartboard.
Popular, and they have a dartboard.
They throw 3 darts and they make a film about that.
Space, lying to your parents.
Ah, shit, it
and
hit
guns.
Alien 3 times. Can we really make a movie like that? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we can. What do we call it?
Can
of worms?
I don't know.
I don't know. Man, we really opened up a can of worms by restricting ourselves to exactly what's on the dartboard. Joe, that's such a good idea. Can of worms.
It's perfect. Ship it. Get that kid from under wraps back. He was great. Sorry for wasting your time, Mr. Hanks. We won't be needing you for this film.
Can you imagine a movie in which Tom Hanks is friends with the lead character who is 13?
Yeah, I could totally imagine that. It's called Big. All right, let's bet. Let's make some bets, dude.
Okay.
13th year bets.
My bet. Do you think he will meet another mermaid? Boy or girl?
I'm gonna abstain.
Oh, because I guess you know.
Because I remember. Yeah, I remember the truth about that one. So.
I'm gonna say yes, he does.
Okay, here's mine. Allusions to semen? It's right there. It's so easy, right? Like, it's about puberty and he's turning into a merman? Yes or no? There definitely will be.
You're talking about pee-pee semen and not...
No. Like
water
the
semen.
confluence of those two concepts being like... It could be either or when they say it.
I see.
Like, a kid would be like, oh yeah, a guy at sea, but an adult would be like, my penis.
Can you imagine you're watching this movie with your dad and you're like 8 years old, and your dad all of a sudden some character says a line about like characters on this like of like people on the sea.
Yeah.
And your dad just goes, "My penis."
My penis.
I'm gonna say yes.
Well, see this my penis, son.
Is that Obama?
Oh no, Michelle.
Cetus.
Michelle. My penis.
My penis.
My fellow Americans.
Elect Clinton into office, but her daughter.
At the right time.
At the right time. We need to make that movie happen.
This is my revenge.
This is my revenge.
I always make him sound too southern. My Obama's from Texas. My fellow Americans, yeehaw.
Yee.
My fellow Americans, yeet.
My fellow Americans, yeet Clinton right in office.
Dude, I think that was our best work yet.
I agree.
ヒットポイント回復するなら傷薬